is a partnership between Metro, Recology, and Cracked Pots. Our main mission is to get people to understand that what we think of traditionally as waste are actually temporarily misplaced resources.
Metro's a partner in this Glean project where we're actually inviting artists to make art out of garbage because what better way to inspire people to look at things differently, to think before they throw things away.
Cracked Pots is an organization that formed in 1998, and while we're mostly known for our annual art show out at McMenamin's Edgefield, we are interested in any way that we can increase awareness and get people to assist us in making a difference in the waste stream.
Recology started an art program to raise people's awareness about all the stuff we throw away. We consider them resources. We think they should have better uses than spending the rest of their existence in a landfill.
On a very basic level, we want people to recycle and compost. But on a deeper level, we really want people to think about conserving natural resources and protecting the environment while we support the artist community.
I've been involved with the Glean program since its inception in 2011, and as a lover of the arts, I really enjoyed this program on a personal level.
The Glean program is important to these artists, on the one hand because they get access to what I call the belly of the beast. This is sort of the back door of the results of human consumption. And so artists not only get access to abundant, free, very interesting materials, but they also get to see what really happens. And then we get to put on a really nice show for them here at Disjecta in a nice gallery and bring a lot of people to see their art that might not have had access otherwise.
I can picture them walking through the transfer station and seeing all this stuff that is garbage, except that somebody picked it up and decided to do something with it.
As an artist, I'm a very visual person, and it was like being in an artist's candy store.
So here at the Metro Central transfer station, we, Recology, will see anywhere from between 15,000 and 18,000 tons of material come through in any given month, depending on the season, some more, some less, but typically 15,000 to 18,000 tons has been our average.
Waste reduction is important to Metro because of the bigger, broader goal, first and foremost, of climate change. Waste reduction is an important climate change strategy, as is recycling and composting.
I think it's fascinating that artists can take something that somebody threw away and thought it had no value and create something that is compelling or that is beautiful or tells a story, something that now has value.
It's like alchemy. It's a kind of magic.
There's a freedom from the preciousness of a new object when you have things that are already garbage. There's this, you can experiment so much more easily without having to worry about wasting money or wrecking things because they're already wrecked and they're already wasted.
When people look at the work that I've most recently made, I'm hoping that they'll understand that they're engaging in the physical act of looking and that they'll take those new hyper-aware looking skills and take those out into the rest of the world as they move through their daily lives.
I feel very lucky to be part of that that point in which the objects pass through. So sometimes, and part of this is in my pieces, I felt like I was standing like, at a point in a river of these objects, and I had no really control of what came in or what went out, but kind of like just catching things as they float down the river.
One of the things I've been working with is the old man time capsules, these jars of strange hardware that I find at the dump. They're usually all encapsulated and they're random objects, and I have these railroad tracks out back in my studio, and I've been flattening them, all the little bits of hardware, using the trains that just go by about every 20 minutes. And it sort of has this sort of archaeological feel when everything gets flattened like a fossil, sort of like things settling down into the debris and slowly becoming compressed. So I've started making some sort of like fossils out of my old man fossils.
At the transfer station, I came in with a really specific idea for what I wanted to do, and of course that didn't happen.
I oriented myself towards the wood pile and the glass pile, and just started collecting a bunch of material.
In this project, I'm working with linear sculpture, using wire and papercrete to create different lines in space on different sorts of sculptures. And I'm continuing to look at Greek and Roman and ancient vessels and rocks and what happens with the materials of the earth.
One of the things that I was drawn to was the wooden broomsticks. I could imagine somebody using them in their house, and oftentimes people come to the dump and they're taking something and then they're cleaning out their car, their truck, and then they just toss the broom in with everything else. And so it kind of has a story to it.
Papercrete is a combination of concrete and pulped, shredded, recycled paper mixed together to make a more fibrous sculptural media.
One of the great things about this residency has been the hazardous waste, because I have been able to glean lots of wood glue, paint, epoxy, even artist paints, artist materials that I use for painting. It's been unbelievable in terms of what I can find, what I've found has been barely used or even unopened.
One of the most exciting things that I found is I got 2 air compressors. One of them had been used in sort of an air blasting situation, so it just had some sand inside of it, and the other one just had a loose belt.
It's overwhelming, just the amount of stuff that there is, and especially somewhere like Portland, where you think it's kind of supposed to be a green city. It's you know, you're really inundated with all the stuff that's actually getting thrown away that could be reused.
I love the exhibition. It's a culmination of a half a year's work, and it's a very exciting event.
The underlying threads of my work that have come out have been very playful and humorous and slightly absurd and kitschy, and I just really appreciate how it all came together.
I'm actually really excited that my work sort of has a general theme. It was difficult because there's so much good stuff at the transfer station. I was concerned that it would just look as chaotic as that environment, but I really feel like now that it's hung on the wall, it really, you can sense sort of my eye in it, even more than I had hoped, so I'm excited about that.
I started to work with wood, I made this structure, and I realized that they needed to go together.
I love this piece because it's really about archaeology, and I think that someday we'll be mining our landfills. This is all just stuff that the artist found buried at the transfer station, and she's taken it up, flattened it out, formed it into this amazing fossil-like thing. And I think someday when we start mining our landfills, we'll find things like this that will be almost this magical.
This piece here is very simple, but for me, looking at it, I'm reminded of a cathedral. There's just something very cathedral-like to it. I think especially the space in between the broomsticks and the glass, the ability to see through it. It's a really beautiful piece.
I love how beautiful and real it is. I love this amazing note. I love the teeth. I think that they're interesting and fun.
I think this is a gorgeous piece. I think I love it. because it's wood, you know, so it's opening up a piece of wood like you would see the heart of wood. And then you open this thing up and it's glass in the center. It's just, it really is sort of stunning. It's just beautiful.
I really enjoy this piece, and to me it kind of epitomizes the Northwest. You have, you know, the rain, the green, all the blended colors, and just the materials and effort I'm guessing it took to put this together is just really amazing.
I think moving forward, I'm more aware of having too much stuff in my life and trying to streamline that down.
Here in the metro region, households and businesses have done an exemplary job reducing waste and recycling. About 60% of our total discards are either recycled or composted, which places us at an exceptionally high level when compared to other communities across the country. But there's a lot more we can and need to do.
In terms of zero waste or waste zero, obviously we're going to continue our efforts and expand our partnerships with programs like Glean, finding alternative markets, making the highest and best use of all resources.
Yeah, so I think that my next project is going to be about textile reuse and recycling and the commodification of the second-hand market of textiles. But I think what I really want to do is like bundle the textiles together.
Bundle how? With like twine or with the actual textiles, like shredding?
No, that's a good idea.
Or something? Yeah.
Metro's committed to reducing waste because really, where are we going to put it? And taking it out to Eastern Oregon is probably not the smartest thing we could be doing.